What's good, y'all? Okay, I hope my volume sounds good. I got like my phone like propped up on my blankets because y'all know me. I'm not fancy. And of course, I'm trying to use my little Christmas present. Like my family went all out for me, y'all. It's crazy. They got me some Beats earphones, but these things are like noise canceling, so I can't even tell if I'm talking. But it's like I didn't want my sound to be muffled because my sheets are all like bunched up in my phone. I don't know the best way to do this, but yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all about some real shit. Like, of course, I'm gonna update y'all with AD because y'all ain't gonna believe the update with that. You're not going to believe it. But it's also like, bro, I am fighting fucking demons, man. I am fighting demons. I have been drinking almost every day for I would say a good 4 or 5 years now. Years. Sometimes I get random stomach pains and they hurt so fucking bad. And then I get muscle spasms like every freaking where. I get muscle spasms everywhere. And I had to Google that. Like, why do I keep getting muscle spasms? And one of the reasons listed, dehydration, stress. I know the main thing is probably dehydration because I drink alcohol more than I drink anything else. I used to be one of those people who only drink like coffee, water, and tea, or juice, and I was never like a soda person. So I think that's really what the issue is. It's just too much alcohol, but it's crazy because it's just like on Christmas Day, I did not have a drink at all. And yes, I had alcohol. I knew that stores were going to be closed on Christmas. Let me go ahead and go to the store beforehand. So of course, I made sure I stocked up and got me a little bottle, got my little mixer, whatever. And my go-to drink is now tequila and orange juice. Just super simple. Sometimes if I feel like it, I'll throw a splash of grenadine in there, make it a tequila sunrise. But I don't really do, too much. And it's been like that. Like, I think I started like really being on tequila probably over the past year. So imagine that every other day, or basically every day for the most part, tequila is just getting thrown and pounded into my system. That shit is starting to fuck me up. Like I start to feel like I look different. I look a lot different. I'm getting what they call cortisol face when you just I don't know, inflammation of the face. Like when you just look so puffy. Like y'all go back and look at my very, very first video. I smoke a lot more cigarettes when I've been drinking. So it's just like, it's just been affecting me, like, in so many freaking ways. And the craziest part is like knowing that you're killing yourself, but you can't stop. You can't stop. And what brought this whole video about, this whole episode of me like really analyzing my shit is that my grandmother just texted me. And when she texted me, it was like, not like an upset text message, but it's like, she's trying to get some stuff off of her chest. And she's like, I can't believe you said this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what is she talking about? I had no idea what she was talking about. So I scroll down on my phone and I go and look at the previous text message that I had sent her around 8:30 last night. I don't remember last night. I don't. The last thing I remember about last night was that I was making steak tacos. I finished them. I had one. I was playing music. I was in my room. She had my youngest spending the night over there with her. My youngest really wanted to spend the night with her. So my oldest was here. And like, that was just it. That's all I remember. Is making the steak tacos, finishing them, eating one, talking to my oldest in the kitchen, probably fixing myself another drink, and that was it. From that point on, my mind is blank. They call it like spirits because they say, like, when you get into that type of state, it allows your body to be like basically inhabited. You know, it allows something or someone else to, it's almost like a doorway, and it allows other things to come in. I am religious, I am Christian, though I'm not like heavily into the church. Yes, I do curse, I smoke, I drink, I was raised Christian. I was raised that way. So, I mean, I don't just grow up and be like, you know what, I'm atheist, I don't believe in that anymore. Um, that's what I was raised upon. So, like, I believe in stuff like that. I'm superstitious about things. I don't believe in like splitting the pole, opening an umbrella and doors. Like, it's just certain things you're not supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's just certain things that I believe in. So I do believe that sometimes when I get the drinking, there is somebody else. There is somebody else. I remember I said that to my mom before, that like sometimes I feel like there are like two different people inside of me. I literally feel like that. And I know y'all think, oh my God, she sound crazy, but like on some real shit, I've always felt like that. I feel like there's the me when I'm sober, which is nice, sweet, pleasant, productive, patient, considerate, and then there's just this other version that comes out when I've been drinking, where I just feel like I'm invincible, where I feel like I'm bulletproof, where I feel like can't nobody fuck with me, can't nobody touch me, like I'm that bitch, and just reckless with the mouth and everything. And the craziest part of this all is, yes, I am still drinking, but I'm in like a different vibe right now, because I have now been made aware that I have disrespected my grandmother. And for those of you who have watched my videos, like, y'all know I just lost my mom in July. And we're in December, so it's been a few months. So it's just like, bro, disrespecting my grandmother is like an absolute no-no. I would never. So the fact that, she took the time up to type out this long message to me to express how she feel, and I was just like, oh my God, what the fuck did you do, girl? What the fuck did you do? What did you say? What did you do? I hoped we didn't speak on the phone last night. I haven't even checked my call logs, because now I'm like, well, shit, let me check my call logs, because I mean, who else did I speak to last night? Who else did I fucking text? And that's what it's like when you are at the level of that I am, of a functional alcoholic. Most nights I can't sleep. I'm in and out of sleep all the time. Even if I drink, like the only time I can really sleep is like when I drink and then I pass out. But it's like if I go to sleep regularly, because like that's like a weird cycle that I do. I'll drink like early in the day, and then especially if I'm not at work, if I don't have to work, I'll drink early in the day. I go to sleep. I wake back up. And then from then on, I'm like super, super thirsty. So I'm drinking electrolyte packets in my water. I'm drinking regular water, doing all that stuff. Finally getting something to eat, all that. And it's time to go to sleep. And, I'm able to fall asleep normally. Usually fall asleep watching a movie or some shit. But then I can't stay asleep. Like, I'm just in and out of sleep constantly. My mind is racing. I'm always thinking about something. Like, I cannot sleep unless I pass out due to drinking. I'm like so fucking bloated all the time. I feel so exhausted all the time. Like, I look nothing like I looked years ago. And the craziest thing is, like, people will like compliment me, like mostly guys, of course, but they'll compliment me and say, oh, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. But I'm just like, man, I'm really fucking not. I look nothing like I used to look. I used to actually be very, very pretty, in my own opinion. Very, very pretty. You know, there's a lot of people in this world, like, I could be like, okay, they're pretty. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Megan Good, Tyra Banks, Vivica A. Fox, Taraji P. Henson, Kyla Pratt, Taylor Swift. You know, I can go Beyonce. I can go. You know, like there's a lot of pretty people in this world. A lot of pretty people, and so like I felt myself like, okay, I am pretty. I'm pretty too. I don't feel that anymore. I feel like I'm just like corrupted, like a file that you try to open, like corrupted. You know, this web page is at risk. You know, go back or open details type of shit. Like, so I don't know. That was just like another bit of a wake up call today. Like, I know I need to do something about it. Will I? Probably not. Like, I could sit here and say, oh yeah, my New Year's resolution is to stop drinking and stuff. That would be great. That would be great. But let's move on, shall we? Until we can circle back to get a permanent plan in place. We will circle back to that. So anyway, let me update y'all with AD now. And I wish I was recording this shit on my other phone because I'm telling y'all, this shit is about to get crazy. So let me find a way to try to like break it down and give y'all the updates. Okay. So y'all remember how the last video I made, I was talking about how men could be your biggest haters. And that, I'm trying to remember where I had left off with everything. I remember I was talking, the part 2, I was explaining about AD, how he sent me the message. And I was like, yeah, nope, can't meet up today. Next day, my period started. I was pissed. I sent him like 2 paragraphs or something, getting all fucking breaking it down, which is not some shit that I normally do, but I did it, whatever. Sue me. And then he had nothing to say after that. So let's pick it up from there. So it's now Christmas Day. I get a phone call from AD, but I have my phone on, like I literally pressed the whole silent button on the side of my freaking phone because, you know, it's Christmas. Everybody knows what happened to my mom. I'm getting all types of freaking text messages and phone calls. It's 7 in the morning. I'm trying to sleep in, you know what I mean? Type stuff. I appreciate it from everybody. I appreciate it. I truly do. But it's 7 in the morning. I have a full-time job. I have 2 children. So when I am able to sleep in, I like to, you know, sleep in and get my rest, you know. So I had to go ahead and put my phone on silent. I forgot to turn my phone off of silent. So I'm in the kitchen, you know, I'm making breakfast, baking my grandmother's banana bread. Is that, no, not banana bread, bread pudding. I don't even like bread pudding, but my grandmother liked it. I'm like, of course I'm gonna make that shit for my grandmother, you know, whatever. Like, that's why this shit is so crazy. Like, oh my God, I'm fucking beefing with my grandmother. She's 79 years old. Like, I sent her several messages apologizing and just telling her, like, I'm so sorry. I'm not in a good place. Like, I kept it straight, bro. I've been drinking way too much, way too often. You know, I sent those messages, but it was not me. And I was just apologizing to her for not clearly articulating my concerns in a efficient and productive, polite way. Like, I sent her, you know, quite the apology, but it's like, I don't want to talk too much right now to her because I am drinking. Again, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's Saturday. I don't have to work today, so there goes some functional alcoholic justifying their drinking, but whatever. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so it's Christmas Day. He called me. I didn't hear my phone because it was on silent. I'm in another room. And then somebody else had called me, and I guess my phone was face up somewhere. My kid seen it. She brought my phone to me. And so that's when I'm like looking through my phone, turning the do not disturb off, and just kind of getting caught up with everything. And then I see that he had texted me 3 minutes ago. So I read the text message. Very first thing he said was, I'm sorry. he said a lot of shit in there. Basically, he's talking about how he's a spiritual person and he believes that we were brought into each other's life for a reason. And, you know, he's sorry that he's been letting me down. He's sorry he hasn't been very responsive. He knows he's got a lot of growing up that he needs to do. And I think that was like I don't think I'm leaving out anything. Like, I think that's the basis of what he said. And basically just yet again, wanting to come back and wanting to be in my freaking space. So I didn't say shit to him the rest of the day. You know, it's Christmas Day. I had already woken up, and within 10 minutes of being awake, I began to get emotional about my mom not being here. After my family and we opened up presents and whatnot, and I made sure my kids had a good Christmas filled with lots of presents, because I did not want them to physically feel or see or notice, you know, in any way, shape, or form that somebody's missing. You know, we didn't get as much as we got last year, or this is how it's going to be, and we're going to have a bad Christmas, and just shit like that. So I just wanted to make sure my kids were completely happy. I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of money. Like, y'all go back to my very, very first video. I spent like $300 on Christmas. This time around, like, I spent a good amount of money, but it's just like, they were very, very happy, and that's truly all that matters. So shit, where was I? Okay, so it's Christmas Day. Okay, yeah, so I didn't respond to him, you know, the whole rest of the day. I kept thinking about him, and I kept wanting to say something, but I wanted to like really think about what I wanted to say to him, because I just felt like, you know, I feel like I gave you a chance, you know, initially. And then after you pull this whole crap about trying to like break up, and I showed you how I don't give a fuck, then you wanted to come back. And then again, you started, oh, you know what he said also? You know what he also freaking said? He said, oh, fuck, it's something about, I wish I could open up my text messages and read it without fucking it up. But he was like, when he was like, we were brought into each other's life for a reason, and I keep losing sight of that because we are in two different phases in life. Pause. Hold that thought. He had said something else another time. I think we was about to get busy or just had finished getting busy. And he was like, oh, I feel like I'm like your boy toy. That was something that James had said at one point. And so it's just like, you really got to be careful when people speak and really listen to them, because it's like they will tell you where they belong in your life just by their own fucking placement, you know, by their own accord, by their own, you know, whatever. Like, if you feel like you are nothing more than a plaything to me, that's what you feel like you bring to my life. That's what you feel. You know what I mean? Like, I would never say some shit like that to some guy. I don't need no fucking plaything. Like, get out of here. The fuck? But for the fact that they be saying that shit, it's like, bro, that's what you think. That's what you feel in your heart. That's where you place yourself of value to me. I didn't say it. You said it. So I just thought that was really interesting. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, I'm trying to do better at not like losing my place, and like trying to elaborate on stuff but keep the story going. You know what I mean? Okay, so he was saying like he feel like he's my plaything, and what did I say right before that? Fuck. Okay, yeah, we're in two different phases in life. Blah blah blah. Okay, so when he said that, that also again is just me reading between the lines, and I'm just like, you lose sight of that. You constantly lose sight of that you feel like we were brought into each other's life for a reason, because we are at two different places in life. Is it because you feel like you bring no value to my life? Is it because that you feel like you're a brokey and you low-key be getting fucking jealous, and that's why you constantly lose sight of it? You constantly don't want to deal with me no more, and then you think about it and you're like, okay, yeah, I want to come back. I don't understand this dude. I really fucking don't. Like, I think he's so fucking confused to the point where he confusing others, because it's just like, I am fucking confused. I don't know what the fuck the problem is at this point. So I finally decide to respond to his ass the day after Christmas. You know, after me and my family had opened up presents and we ate and stuff, I became emotional. And, you know, like we have this bookshelf that we have like a whole bunch of pictures on, like, you know, a few of my mom's things. And it's just like almost like basically a shrine. And so, like, I just couldn't help like looking at that. And, you know, it just made me emotional. You know, you can understand. You know, you can understand my very, very first Christmas without my mom. Like, of course, after all, everything's open and everybody's mind is off presents. Of course, I'm thinking a different direction. And, you know, but anyway, so I couldn't do much on Christmas. I was not really even talking to anybody. I really couldn't handle it. I damn sure was not going to respond to him. So the next day was when I responded to him, and I don't even remember what I said. Hang on. The noise canceling in these things is phenomenal. But anyway, so like basically, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I basically told him like, listen, these are the rules type shit. You know, be available when I hit you up. Stop fucking doing too much. You know, like, just cut the shit. Cut the shit. You know what I mean? Just cut the shit. And so, yeah, he apologized again. He said, okay. And I'm like, okay, so boom. When are you coming over? Because I'm like, you know, I haven't had a box eating session from him in like almost 2 weeks. It's been long enough. You know what I mean? I'm not about to start a whole nother 7-8 month drought. So I'm just like, no, fuck that shit. Like, when you coming over? And so he came over day before yesterday. And like, I don't know, like at first, like vibes was just kind of like weird. Like I just felt super disconnected. Like for me, like I need to be connected to you. I need shit to be good. I need us to be in a good place. Like I need that mental, you know, in order for me to feel comfortable physically and, you know, affectionately type shit. You know, you can't wreak havoc and try to turn my fucking world upside down, and then you pop back up and I'm just like, let's pick things up right where we left off. That's not how that shit work with me. I got to, y'all know what I'm trying to say. So when he came over, he actually bought me some flowers. He's never done that. Never. So I was quite surprised. And it's so crazy because one of the flowers, he bought me two little bouquets of flowers. One was like a light purple color. I love that color now because that was my mom's favorite color. But it was like a nice lavender color. And the other one was like white. I love white flowers. And it had the label on it. And it said my name, my first name. And he was like, yeah, and like, look at this. I thought it was so weird. And, you know, he's like, I just had to get these, and I had to get these too. At first I saw those, but then I saw this and it had your name on it, so I just got both. And I was like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. Okay, keep going. So he got the flowers. And here's a funny part. So y'all remember how I said how he woke up and he was cooking eggs and shit in my house. Didn't even ask me, didn't even offer me none of that shit. He got me a carton of eggs. Brown eggs, because that's the ones that I prefer. The white ones, they just taste watered down. But he got me a carton of eggs. I thought that was like, okay, I see what you're doing. And then it was, oh yeah, he also baked some Rice Krispie treats with Oreos in them. I know that shit gonna fuck my teeth up because that just sound way too sweet. But I'm like, okay, you up in there, up in the kitchen baking this shit with a flick of the wrist? Is my shit that good? Like, what the fuck? And then let me tell you the last shit that he did that I like too, because I use the bathroom. So I gotta hear him in this. But the last shit that he did that I like. So of course, that night we got it in. And he was very patient with me because it's like I even told him I don't feel like I'm gonna finish, you know, while he was down there. You know, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do that tonight. So if you want to just go ahead and get started with phase 2, that's fine. He stayed down there. He was like, no, fuck that. Okay, oh my God, I snorted. But, you know, he stayed down there, you know, did the job. And it took me some time, but that worked out. We'll just say that. Okay. And then The next morning, because I feel like I'm a lot more sensitive in the morning, so I like a little treat, before I got to get up and go to work and shit. So the next morning, like, I didn't even have to ask. Like, he just kind of went ahead and got right down to it. And I appreciated that. So it's just so fucking weird how he's just like all so sweet and nice and affectionate and considerate and attentive. Why you couldn't be that shit before? Why does it take me showing you that I don't give a fuck about you for you to give a fuck about me? Y'all say y'all want a woman to have y'all back and do all this shit, and it's like I was doing that shit a little bit too much. If if you ask me, I was doing all that shit, and you took advantage of it. You acted like it was nothing. The minute I pull back and I take that shit away, now you want to go out and buy flowers. Now you want to do what I've been asking you to do, and you called me rude for it. It was one time he was over here, and I asked him, like, listen, could you eat that for me? Could you eat that, before I go to work? And then, he did it, no problems, no sass. But then later on, he told me that that was rude. That was rude for you to do that, for you to ask me to do that for you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, how is it rude for me to ask you to give me some head before I go to work? It's not like I asked you to pay a bill. The fuck is you crying about? Like, I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with these dudes? Like, that's what you're here for. Like, what the fuck? What are you mad? I don't understand. It's confusing. The fuck? So, yeah. But we have definitely set our boundaries and we have definitely made it clear. I'm definitely still looking for another dude. Now, see, what I'm hoping to gain, because I know y'all like, well, why are you still trying to look for somebody else if you got this dude? This dude is not somebody that I can be with long term. He's just not. We are in two different places of life. He is too used to dating younger women that are just happy that the guy got his own place. You know what I mean? For them, they still sleep at home with mom. So if they can go and spend a night out with a guy who's got his own place and you can kind of play house for a night and shit like that, does it for them. That shit don't do it for me. I've been had that shit and better. So fuck. I really got to freaking pee right now, y'all. But yeah. So I'm gonna be back with another update, but that's where we are with that. I have definitely made it clear that I am still looking for somebody else, and he seems to be okay with it. So if anything, I just need to put into overtime and replace his ass quickly, because though he is a fantastic eater, and I mean the schlong is long, like it's all fantastic, great body, great fit, great height, great face, great teeth, all that shit. I want the full package. I want the full package. And I hate how it's like you have to have a combination of people in order to get the wholeness out of the situation. I want that in just one fucking person. So the search continues, but until then, I got my best eater back. And a win is a win. Y'all be safe. Peace.